Yeah, go ahead. I'm not sure who was next. I'll try to get to everybody.
Gentleman over here mentioned farm regulations. Gentleman over here mentioned business. Half the reason illegal aliens become attracted to hire is you get away from the regulations, things like unemployment, things like workman's comp, and so on.
Right.
Your opponent was here last month, offered up a plan that he would offer a tax credit to businesses who hire. My thought was, that's nice, but what about businesses who want to buy more equipment? They don't get anything, so you're picking and choosing. Will you, as a governor, for farms, for businesses, work to reduce across the board all manner of regulation? Leave us alone, let us make our money. We'll be paying a boatload of taxes, and we can make this a prosperous state. Will you help reduce regulation levels?
I don't know, but to be honest with you, it's more than just reducing the regulation, okay? It's also changing the mindset of people who work for government, okay? And it's one of the things I've seen as mayor. One time, the people, you know, if you're the mayor, you want new growth. You want businesses building, and that they're paying new taxes, et cetera, you know, et cetera. It makes life better for everybody, right? I went down to meet with our people who do plans review and development. Anything you want to build new has to come through there. And I was sitting and I kind of preached my heart out about why it was so important to be customer friendly. And there's a room about 2/3 full is this one. And why, you know, we wanted to encourage new investment, people building new, and how that ultimately helped pay their salaries, and if they wanted to raise, et cetera, et cetera. And after about 45 minutes of preaching my heart out, I was kind of walking out the door, and this one lady kind of tapped me on the shoulder and says, "Mayor," I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "I was here before you got here. I'll be here after you're gone." So the point was, we're going to do this our way. We slowly started to change that mindset. But what I've had to do is, I mean, I'll give you an example. I had somebody a friend of mine who was going to build something new in the city, and I wanted it to happen. It was, again, new jobs, new tax collections. It was good for us. And so I saw him one day and I said, what happened? How come you didn't start building? He goes, "You tell me. It's hung up in your plans department." So I chase it down, get to the desk of where it is. The guy goes, I said, what's the status? He goes, "I don't know, it's there. We're going to get to it." I said, "Well, you realize this guy's got a bank loan that he's paying on? He's got employees hired that he's paying. He's got bulldozers waiting at the site that he's leased." I said, "That's costing him money." And the guy was like, "I really never thought of it that way." Okay, and I honestly think he never had. I know, we kind of laugh, but I don't think because he had never had to borrow it to start a project. He had never put his own capital into something. Okay, so it's about keeping regulations light, but it's also about changing the mentality, which is, and state government has 47,000 employees. It's a long process.
I think to the extent that you do that, you'll find a whole lot of support in this room and elsewhere.
Yeah, way back in the back.
You spoke when you first came in about lowering, reducing government. What steps, if you were elected in the first year, what specific programs or parts of government would you reduce? Yeah,
I'll tell you kind of the process I went by, did as mayor, okay? Because I'd love to tell you, we have this department, we can go cut $200 million. It's not going to happen. There's not one fat, juicy $200 million apple. It's just not going to happen. You know, there's some state government employees in here, and they tell you things are pretty tight. Things are fairly tight most places already. So here's what I did as mayor. The first thing I'd say is, should we even be doing this? Okay, is state government, should we even be doing this? Should we even own this building, etc.? We literally went through and found, for instance, I found a whole bunch of buildings we owned in the city that we didn't need to own, so we sold them, got that money, quit having to pay to maintain them, and started collecting property tax on them. You know, we looked at how many employees had take-home vehicles that the city was paying for them, you know, little things like that. But they added up big, and we looked at everything from making a health insurance plan that worked better for the employees and cost us less, and I think we've done that. It was 100 little things that we did, and it's going to be the same thing with state government. I'd love to tell you, like I said, I've got $100 million. Now there are some things we can do better. I mean, the state has a new software program in that's driven everybody crazy. That I think we can simplify and work better. We do purchasing in a very inefficient way. There's a lot of things like that, but it's not I don't have one big, really easy $100 million fix. It's going to be a lot of little